Hello children, we are discussing assignment 18 related to the topic principles of metallurgy. In that question number 1, name the phenomenon where metals such as iron damaged when exposed to water, moisture and air for long time. So the phenomenon is called corrosion. Is called what? Corrosion. Next, iron gets rust but gold doesn't. Why? Why? Because gold is a noble metal. Gold is a noble metal. Noble metal. Why it is considered as noble metal? Because of its least reactivity. So won't react with air and moisture. Least reactivity. That's why it is considered as a noble metal as well as precious metal. Next we'll go for the third question. So it was written that jewelry shop 22 carats gold. What you can understand from that? So what it means? 22 the pure form of the gold. The pure form of the gold is considered as is expressed in units. The purity of the gold is expressed in units carats. 24 carats gold is the pure form of the iron. Pure form of the gold. So this pure form of the gold is not suitable for making jewelry. Is not suitable for making jewelry. So to make it ductile. So making jewelry, the phenomenon employed making jewelry means ductility. So to make it ductile and strengthen, the ductile wire should be strengthened. No? So to make it strengthened, it should be alloyed. Alloying means mixing with the homogeneous mixture of two or more metals is called alloying. So the pure form of the gold should be alloyed with either silver or copper. Either silver or copper. So after mixing, then the gold is called 22 carats gold. After alloying with silver or copper, then that gold is called 22 carats gold. That it means 22 parts is gold and the remaining 2 parts is alloyed with 2 parts is either silver or copper. So in India especially using 22 carats gold is using for making ornaments. Next, write the precautions should be taken while doing the experiment that air and water both are needed for rusting of iron. The precautions are we should clean the iron nails with sandpaper. So whether over any rust is there means we should take care of it. So we should clean the iron nails. Clean the iron nails with sandpaper. We have to check. We have to take the iron nails in pure form without any rust. Without any rust. Next, we should fit the corks properly. Should fit the rubber corks properly. We should fix the rubber corks properly. Next, last precaution but not least, in case of oil, so the vessel, the test tube in which we are using oil, no? So the oil layer we have to take care, we have to check whether the oil layer should be evaporated, means should be accumulated clearly on the water layer. The oil layer should be cleared. There is no gap between oil layer, water and oil layer to the atmosphere, remaining atmosphere of the test tube. So oil layer should be cleared. So these are the precautions we have to take during the experiment. So we'll go for the experiment. Let us go for the experiment. So what is the experiment? What is the aim? We are checking that air water needed for rusting. So to check the air and water needed for rusting. Needed for rusting. So for this, what are the apparatus required? By observing the diagrams, we can say that what are the apparatus required? 3 test tubes. 3 test tubes. At first, 3 test tubes, 3 rubber corks, 3 rubber corks. Next, iron nails. Next, distilled water. Next, see calcium chloride crystals of calcium chloride, and few ml of oil. So these are the apparatus required, and the procedure is take the 3 test tubes and label them with A, B, C. In the test tube A, you can take only iron nails, and all the 3 test tubes take 3 nails. You can keep 3 nails on all the 3 test tubes. As before the question, we have discussed the precautions. The nails should be in clean position, and the oil layer should be cleared in the second test tube. And in all the 3 test tubes, we have to fix the corks properly without any gap. So in the first test tube, we had taken iron nails, that is filled with distilled water, and in the second test tube, we have taken iron nails and distilled water with a small amount of oil. In the third test tube, we have taken iron nails and anhydrous calcium chloride crystals we have taken in the third test tube. So where we can observe the rusting of iron nails means in the test tube A. Why? Because in test tube A, so there may be a air in the glass tube. This tube, test tube, there may be a iron nails on contact with both air and as well as water. So these iron nails are rusted. So in the first test tube, from the observations we can say that the iron nails in the test tube A are rusted, whereas the iron nails in the test tube B and C, A are rusted, whereas B and C are not rusted. Why? Because no doubt your iron nails are in contact with water, but this oily layer cut the connection between air and iron nails. So there is no contact with air, that's why it should not be rusted. Next, whereas in case of third test tube, there may be an air, so that too dry air. Any moisture form of the air is there means that moisture can be absorbed by the calcium chloride crystals. So these calcium chloride crystals, if there is any moisture form of the water vapor means it should be absorbed by calcium chloride crystals. So we may not expect even water in vapor form also. So there may be only air. So because of absence of water, the iron nails in test tube C also not rusted. So from this explanation, from this experiment, we can conclude that to further rusting, air and water both are needed. So that's all for this assignment. Thank you.